What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Clipping In with Nick Scortino. So, this week it's going to be a little bit more of a different episode. We're going to be diving a little bit more into the mental side of this and just kind of, how I've been and, you know, what's kind of brought me to this point so far mentally in this journey that I've currently put myself on. And we're going to be going over a little bit more of, just how the month of August is currently going for me in terms of putting in the work. Obviously, clocking in to lock in. And yeah, so without further ado, I think we should just dive right into, how August is going. Uh, so far in the week, I'm currently at the point where I take a rest off the bike and start doing some more strength and um, you know, different cardio based exercises such as shadow boxing. So today I did a 30-minute um, upper body workout, which is good. Hurt a little bit just because I haven't really done a lot of upper body stuff this past week, but felt nice to get back into it. And then closed out my workout with a little 20 minutes of shadow boxing, which is a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing shadow boxing. It's a great way to break up and use different parts of your body. And I wanted to do some yoga or Pilates or some core strength, but I just didn't get a chance to do it today because of work. My schedule changed, so I start an hour earlier now, which kind of sucks because I had a nice little routine going of when I could when I could start my workout and whatever. But is what it is. Just kind of got to get used to it for these next couple of days because then I shoot back up and start school. But so far in August, I have officially surpassed the 300-mile mark. I'm currently sitting at 311 miles just solely for the month of August. I've done 59 cycling classes, 32 strength classes, 26 stretching classes, and 14 cardio. I've burned over 24,000 calories. My total output's been 9,821. My time has been 28 hours and 39 minutes. And I actually was able to hit another PR, which was on Kendall's 20-minute pop punk ride from this past Wednesday. I was able to beat my 20-minute PR, so I was pretty pumped up about that. And then there was a 20-minute climb ride after that, and yeah, it's safe to say I did not double PR because I shot myself in the foot pretty much while working for that initial PR. But it happens, and I still haven't. I'm still trying to find ways to incorporate some more strength stuff and things like that into my workouts as it is. And, that's one thing I just got to work on. Got to, maybe get up a little bit earlier, incorporate it, into before I start riding the bike, things like that, but nothing too crazy. And so, yeah, pretty much that's basically how August is going. I'm going to be working out my lower body tomorrow, and then it'll be back on the bike on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, pretty much. That's the schedule I keep to, where I do the bike 5 days a week and strength Thursdays and Fridays, which it's probably going to change. I'm probably going to lighten the bike work and start incorporating more strength, Pilates, yoga, to really work on my flexibility, core, and just overall strength, because I definitely feel like I needed to really start working that out more. I'm kind of at that point where I got to start switching things up. I feel like I've hit a little bit of a plateau in terms of the weight loss, which it happens to everyone. I mean, for me, obviously, I could probably clean up my eating a little bit more. I haven't really been eating the best, but I haven't been eating terribly. So, that's a great thing for myself, but I feel like I kind of need to, clean that up a little bit more and really put in some more work in terms of really improving my flexibility, my core strength, and my overall strength in my legs and upper body. And, that'll definitely just kind of happen as time goes on. But, I have done over 600, I've done 657 total workouts so far through Peloton. I've done 386 cycling, so I'm almost at that 400 mark, which I'm pretty pumped up about. Um, I'm at not 1,000, 111 stretching classes, 82 cardio, and 78 strength. So obviously, got to work on the cardio and the strength classes a little bit more, but slowly but surely, we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped up about surpassing 650 classes total. That's something that is pretty cool to see how much time and work you put in, how much it can kind of like pay off in terms of how just the sheer amount of classes that you can possibly take in a day. I do about 4 to 5 classes a day that range anywhere from 5 to 45 minutes. And yeah, I mean, on my off days from the bike, I try to do at least 40 to 50 minutes of cardio, just to, really round things out and, put in some extra cardio work on top of working out my upper body or my lower body, depending on what day it is. And yeah, so, um, I think that pretty much wraps up August and, what's been going on with that. Now we're going to dive more into the hard hitting, heavier part of this episode, which is going to be a little bit tough for me to necessarily talk about just because I've never really shared um, this stuff with anyone really. And that's just pretty much how mentally I've evolved through this. And you know I've talked about it before, how I pretty much was the fat kid all throughout my life. And I still kind of am right now, but obviously we're working on that with Peloton, which is awesome. But it did take a little bit of a toll mentally on me, just kind of having that always in the back of my mind. And when I be hanging out by myself, I just, sometimes I'd be in a dark place. That just happens when you start thinking like that. And, more recently, these last couple of years, there's been three separate instances really where I've kind of felt myself in that dark place where I don't really know how to climb out. And it's been when I found out I had a learning disability, which um, was tough to kind of find out when I was in. So I mean, I'm still currently in college, but when I was earlier in my college career, finding out that it was, it took a little bit to adjust to, and it took a little bit of a toll on me mentally, just because I, kind of I felt different. I felt like I was a little, out of place because I'd been dealing with this, no one really knew. And then, they come along and say, you have this, and now you have to start doing this, this, and this. And it was just kind of learning a whole bunch of new things to help myself become, a better student, better at school, things like that. But it just, made me feel different because I felt like I wasn't normal. And I've really come to grow to accept that, and it's great that I have. But the other two instances have hit me a little bit harder. They're both about me losing two people who were very important in my life. One being my first family dog, Cody. That one, that happened during COVID, and that sent me into a, not necessarily a spiral, but I was not in a great place mentally, and it sucked because it was during COVID. It was during all of that, and it really, really, really sucked, pretty much. And it was tough to find the you know find a way out of everything. I mean, it was just not a great time to have that happen due to COVID. And it was just being stuck at home and, kind of losing, part of your family. It sucks. It's awful. I would not wish that upon my worst enemy. And, that had taken a toll on me. I still get emotional talking about it. And, we have a new dog. His name's Archie. He's great. Um, but when you lose that first dog, it's just it takes a toll on you mentally. It really does. And the other thing, the other event for myself that really took a toll on me was more recently. I had lost my grandpa, and that one that one hurt a lot because for me, oh jeez, for me, I looked up to my grandpa. My grandpa was I hung out with him all the time when I was younger in my childhood, and he was someone I really enjoyed spending time with, and to do that, it sent me into a really, really dark place, which I'm still working on slowly but surely. We're getting better every day. And the tough part with that now is, I'm doing so much better right now with myself. I'd love to just tell him, but I can't, you know. So that had sent me tremendously into a very, very dark place. When I'd be by myself, I'd just be thinking about him, thinking about everything. And I tried to just, try to get myself out of this funk, but, you know, nothing had really worked. So I just kind of, you know, would listen to music, but it would be a lot of, not necessarily upbeat music like Juice World, Rise Against, Linkin Park, all these types of songs that kind of I'd try to listen to lyrics to see if they could help me, and then nothing really did. A lot of that took with time and me kind of having to process everything and deal with it um, on my own and really just figure my shit out, which I had to do. And, I'm still doing, I'm still figuring a whole lot of things out. And, I'm getting a lot better with talking about it, talking about everything that's gone on. And, but to loop this whole thing back to Peloton is I never really envisioned myself even talking about any of this really. And to bring it up, you know, through this episode, helps me just in this journey of what I'm trying to do, which is, become the best version of myself, which is partially, doing the workouts, doing all that, being consistent with, everything through Peloton and working on myself mentally and physically. And to have a platform like Peloton allow you to basically do that, because you can pick, there's so many different classes you can take that can help tremendously when you hear a specific instructor you're taking or an instructor you enjoy taking talking about their struggles or anything that they've been struggling with recently. It helps to hear that you're not alone, and that's been the biggest thing that has kind of helped with this, is that when you find out that you aren't alone in all this, you really can learn and improve yourself mentally and physically. And that's kind of how I feel like I've been doing. um as I stated before, been I've been in these dark places. It happens to everyone, no matter what. No matter what's going on in so and so's life, if it's, all going downhill, you're going to end up there, but it's all about how you claw your way out, climb your way back, and really take control of everything. And it's it's all a part of the journey, really. And it's tough. It's tough. I'll be the first one to tell you it is tough as shit to really figure all this out and learn and, you know, work on yourself to better yourself. And it's you know, it's not easy, but when you find the things that work for you, it helps so much more. And for me, that's been being consistent and forcing myself to do these workouts when I don't really want to, in terms of getting on the bike, doing whatever, or just working out, period. And, getting myself to talk on here. That's been, another thing's been helping me. And the other biggest thing that I think has been helping me too is with it, all this is I've barely been, you know, drinking anything, any alcohol, and that I think has helped a lot because it leads to me not binge eating, which is something that I really stress that when you're doing this, you need to not do. But it's just when you really start, wanting to get on a journey for yourself to better yourself, the amount of success that you can see in just a couple of weeks or a month is tremendous. Like, I've never felt this good mentally and physically. Like, mentally, you know, I've been so blasé to so many different things. I've been so like, oh, whatever, I've I haven't been this focused and determined to do something in a very long time. The last time I was probably this focused and determined is when I was starting to do podcasting. And now I'm even more focused on podcasting and working out and, putting all this stuff out for you guys to listen to, so that you're not alone in all of this, and that, people are here to listen and help you along the way achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And when you finally understand that and start doing that, it becomes so much easier when you realize that there are people that want to help you and that you're not alone. And when you realize that, it does make a huge difference in the journey that you're trying to make. And when you can figure that out, man, it just becomes so much better. Because, like, I mean, there's still times, if I'm, ever in like a mood, or I'm just, a little bit down about something that's going on, I still find myself listening to different songs that, might not necessarily help take me on my mind off things, but, just kind of keep me there to, let it all sink in first before I attempt to, fix it. People like Juice World, I listen to a lot of his stuff when I'm like that, because of you know, hearing the amount of things that he went through and struggled with, kind of helps when you're, in that, funk. And, Juice World, Linkin Park, Rise Against, there's a long list of songs and people and bands and whoever that I've listened to that have helped me when I'm in said funk, or when I'm, trying to get myself out. And that's the thing that, you know, I keep pushing. You just have to find a way to adjust and start bettering yourself slowly but surely. That's one thing that I can say, that when you start doing that, it helps tremendously. When you start taking things, one at a time. You don't have to go full blown, balls to the wall. I'm gonna do this, and this. When you start taking it step by step in the journey of, helping yourself mentally and physically, when you do things step by step, it makes it much easier and simpler for you to adapt to the changes you are making. And that's one thing that I've noticed that's helped me tremendously, is when you take it step by step. Like, I've, slowly increased the amount of workouts I do. I've slowly increased, the amount of food I eat a little bit, but not like too crazy with the food. But, I've done that. I've just been much better, overall. And, like, I feel great being able to talk about how much this has helped me and how much it's impacted me as a whole so far, and I'm not even close to being done. And when you have those people that are, talking to you about, "Oh, you look so great, you look awesome, blah, blah, blah," like, it's it's great to hear because it shows how people are actually noticing the changes and the progress that you are currently making, and it kinda fuels your fire to continue on doing what you're doing. So that means, continuing bettering yourself mentally, physically, whatever. And when you really start to do that, it feels so goddamn good. It really does. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the entirety of that whole part of this episode, at least. Just wanted to really drive that point of how important it is to, show people that you have been there before in different situations and how you have, you know, climbed back to um kind of a median point until you really want to start fixing it and becoming better mentally and physically. And when you really do that, it helps so, so, so much in the overall journey and progress that you're trying to make. And we're going to end it on that note because I feel like that is a great point to end on. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to check out the Instagram at Clipping in Pod, TikTok Clipping in Pod, YouTube as well. And yeah, so we're gonna end it a little bit differently. So we're gonna end it, and we're gonna start ending the shows by saying, and don't forget to clock in to lock in.